Hey, hello guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. I already recorded this video, but then I realized I made some really incorrect statements through the video, so I'm gonna redo the video. Oh yeah, another 21-minute video I have to redo. Anyways, today we're gonna watch me do a battle. This was a realistic battle, which I scored 2 kills in my new BF109 K4, or how it should really be called, the ME109 K4. But War Thunder calls it BF19 for whatever reason. Also, sorry for the audio. I don't know why I'm not picking up audio. I can't even hear it off my War Thunder. I probably have I don't really know. I think I have it set off in my audio settings, but oh well. We are just gonna deal without audio, unless the recording software picks it up anyways. In this match, right? Because my plane is completely stock, I'm going to be at the disadvantage to everyone I fight. Literally everyone I fight. Not a single person is going to... am I going to be able to outperform. Unless I do some energy fighting, which is exactly what this video is. It's showing you some energy fighting. And... well, I should probably turn on what I'm seeing. There you go, that's what I'm seeing. And, in this video, I will be energy fighting some really hard players. I will be fighting Diablo and Panzer. As you see, they're both in F8Fs, Bearcats. And if you guys don't know anything about them, I feared the F8F when I'm not spaded or they had the advantage. And in this case, they had the extreme advantage. Because, let me just explain. They're in a squad. Diablo's level 95, Panzer's level 88, and we're going to be fighting at high altitude. Now, eventually on, it's going to become a one-on-one with me and Panzer. Diablo kind of extends away, being a bad squad mate he is. Now, I can only assume that they were communicating with each other how they were initially fighting, but it wouldn't make sense that they were communicating if Diablo extended away, or I just don't know. Anyways, about this time in chat, I put hashtag Sock Lives Matter. It's another thing I'm making popular on War Thunder because stock planes have the disadvantage in everything. Anyways, right now I'm just kind of climbing. I want to reach 270 kilometers an hour in IAS, so I kind of lower my nose because BF19's the optimal climb speed is 270. And if you look on the map down at the bottom, I'm kind of, flying away from the enemy. Or, not from the enemy, but from the battle, right? Because if I can fly away from the battle, it's pretty good. Anyways, but let's check out some other people. Notice how most of the team is down low, or diving down low, for whatever reason they choose to dive low. I don't really know. But not everyone dives low. The American team, right, they're bombers. They kind of stay high. Which is, what bombers do, considering they die quite a lot. And Tesla here, later on in the match will disobey my moral rule. But he kills the Super Fortress. I bet the Super Fortress wasn't paying attention because he wasn't even shooting back. But oh well. Me, well, I'm still climbing. And... of course, in this match, the clouds aren't where they were actually in the actual map, but that is okay, I guess. But I see the name tags of Diablo and everything. And, I, being a good pilot, look up. Right now, I'm looking up their player profile. And also, I do notice at this point in time, they are in a squad. Which means, great. I'm going to have to be fighting some really high-level players in a squad. And see, I'm now tapped out. Looking around, and I kind of, I just got the plane, I'm enjoying the cockpit. I'm kind of bored, so I just do this camera thing because it gives me something to do. But the American team, like all American teams, really dive low. They dive low and get into a bowl. A bowl is a group of planes that are turn fighting. Of course, they always do this because they see one German plane and they all dive after that one German plane. It's called swarming. And that is exactly what I don't like, because it allows for us German pilots to be above the Allied team. Because, trust me, Spitfires can outclimb BF-109s. P-51s can outclimb BF-109s. They don't use manual engine controls, so they don't. But even if you don't use manual engine controls, you can get really close. Now, actually, I turn sort of into the fight, but still climbing, because I see the Diablo's name tag, and even though he's like 13 kilometers out, planes move very fast. So distance, you always have to be prepared and be thinking in the back of mind, what are you going to be doing in case that plane that's 15 kilometers out starts to come and chase you down? What will you do? I don't know. Anyways, the Allied team is being killed. Our team is also being killed, but we have the advantage, and we are going to completely destroy the Allied team. Now. If we look at just Panzer for a second, he is climbing, which is smart. Also, here's the Bearcat, which is, as you did see, very powerful. So is this one. I mean, look at this. He is very powerful. And they're kind of, flying in a rough formation. It's very rough. This guy is gaining some speed, and he starts to climb again, which is nice. I mean, that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're an American plane. You gotta climb. Me, I'm still climbing, because I always like climbing. I'm just observing the area. At this point in time, I realize I'm going to have to fight the Diablo and Panzer, because, I do want to go in the Mitzing Bowl, because that is free easy kills. Especially for a stock plane, I need the kills. But then I realized, yeah, if I dive down, Panzer and, Diablo are going to be able to just dive on me. And me being a stock plane isn't going to leave me many options to get away. So, I prepare myself for the worst. High altitude fighting against really dangerous planes with really dangerous pilots in a squad versus myself, because not one of my teammates are going to help me fight these people. Now, I start to dive on one of the planes. At this point, I believe it's Panzer. And why am I diving on them? Well, there's two things I want to do. Either one, drain their energy to the point I could pick them off really easily, or two, push them down to the deck and decrease their potential energy, and then get them to turn to decrease your kinetic energy. Now, I see a teammate up here, so he just did a very big climb, so I'm going to dive after him, but he starts to turn, and I don't really want to risk him because he knows I'm here. And then Panzer, being higher, he is definitely going to be accelerated. Now, he dives down because obviously he's a really heavy aircraft. They're really heavy and durable, so he dives down to get more kinetic energy. But Panzer, even though being a level 88 pilot, he seems to be wanting to turn a lot. Now, I'm fine with them turning, because in fact I want them to turn, because the more they turn, the more they drain their energy. So all I gotta do is not necessarily kill them at this very moment, but just kind of get them to drain their energy, and that's what I'm doing. I'm playing the American tactic right here in a German plane, because American planes are overpowered. I will argue they are overpowered, and they will beat everything they ever fight. But even though in the community, the current way it is, people don't see it because they don't know how to play American planes. They fight them like they're, German. But American planes, it's all about time. It's all about time and setting yourself up for the kill. Now there's Diablo. Diablo is extending away. At this point, he's becoming an invaluable squad mate to Panzer. I don't know, they were talking to each other and saying Panzer was like, hey, I got this guy, or whatever. Or Diablo just simply got greedy. Probably what it is. But now it leaves a one-on-one on me and Panzer, and look how much of an energy disadvantage Panzer is at. Now, of course, he turns to dive and turns away, so I just kind of preserve my speed. And I extend, and I do a high yo-yo, and just kind of like position myself up. I'm in no rush, obviously. There's a B-17, and I decide to take a shot at the B-17. Now, this was really. Now I'm not using stealth belts, and I don't really take a shot on him, but he bails out. Inexplicably bails out, and it was very bad. I mean, bailing out requires you to pay the full repair bill, Or you could just get shut down by enemy plane and, save a couple hundred silver lions. Now, he's in manual gunner control, which means he is firing himself, because even spaded gunners will not fire that far away. And so I'm just closing in, and of course, I'm about to get shot and he bails. He did actually hit my plane, but no damage, which is very nice. So I extend, and there he is. There's Panzer behind me. I see the American team got totally crushed, and our team is doing very well. I just put myself in decline because, of course, I retain more vertical energy than he does, and because I just came out of dive, it's great. Now, he retains more horizontal energy. That's why exactly I'm not extending. I'm kind of just climbing. Now, I do a slow climbing turn. This is really important. It's slow and smooth, not pulling any more than 5 Gs. And this can saves my energy. He is pulling, he's going to have to pull harder in order to stay on my sits, which drains him a lot more energy, and that's what I'm doing. I'm surprised he didn't catch this being such a high-level pilot. But, yeah, so he takes a shot, and I put into a climbing spiral. Now, Panzer did something smart, and he faked the stall. As you see, he's not really stalling, but I perceived it as he was. Now, so I, tried to get on his sits until I realized exactly how much energy he had. So I take a shot, and that actually hit him, which I don't know what it did to him, unfortunately, but it actually hit him. I got a good burst into him, even though the replay doesn't really show it, but in the actual combat, it went straight through his plane. And now he's behind my 9-3 line, so I can no longer attack him, so I kind of put into a climb, get more potential energy, I'm still in no rush. Obviously, I have a hit on him. Now, War Thunder did change what it counts as an assist. You have to actually crit something in order for it to count as an assist. But, yeah, I'm just continuing to climb. And he turns, which allows me to turn and get on his 6. Thank you, by the way, Panzer, for doing that. And so I kind of turn, and because I have so much more potential energy, I'm rapidly converting that into kinetic energy and getting behind him. Obviously, he has more horizontal energy, but he turns. And he's turning again, and I'm totally fine with don't follow him in the turn. Just climb, get your potential energy back, and make a profit out of your investment of your potential energy. And then, I'm just going to do a split S, get behind him. And because he's turned so much, and he's continuing to turn, he is so low on energy at this point in time. I can keep up with him in his turn. 30 mil goes straight through his tail. He blows up. In chat, as you see in the bottom left, I put GG, good dogfight, because that was exceptionally good. I love that. I wish I could have more dogfights like that. Oh, Net Slime, shoot at me a little bit more, please. Anyways, this guy asked me any ideas where they're at. Now, I keep situational awareness, so I say one down low, and that would be Diablo. One in the clouds, and that would be Kazu. One down low is the 80 Franklin. One in the clouds, which is Diablo, and then one returning to his airfield, which is the Kazu, which is the F4F. And, yep, he was a good player. Anyways, so I come down here, and I'm looking at the airfield. Don't see anyone on the airfield, but what do we have here? Diablo and the F4F. Exactly who I said was, or well, Diablo was in the clouds when I was sort of fighting, or that's what I thought, he was still in the clouds. So now, this is Stealth 335, Mr. Sprinkles. He eventually goes off to attack ground targets after doing a strafe. Now, remember my moral. An integral tool lesson. Do not strafe the enemy runway unless the enemy on the runway is camping their runway or abusing the AAA. So, when the F4F Corsair, or F4U Corsair, goes to land, I will not strafe him. But Nikola Tesla, in the Del 335, which is currently on his way to the battle, he is going to disobey that moral and try to attack the Corsair. Oh yeah, I also put in chat, I'm gonna call bingos here soon. Bingo basically means low on fuel. Now, I want to attack Diablo, right? Obviously, it would be really good. But he's too close to his runway. And the AAA in War Thunder is really overpowered, and they have, like, basically in the community, we call it OP Russian lasers. Because that's how they aim, and that's what the damage they do. And I see the Corsair on the runway. I see the Diablo heading to the runway. And yeah, basically Mr. Tesla, I believe, or Mr. Sprinkles, one of the Doe 335s are going to kill Diablo in a head-on. Diablo doesn't actually commit to the head-on, he tries to turn, but he's so low on energy, he doesn't have the maneuverability to turn. Now this Corsair, on the runway, well, he J's out, which is very surprising, because he's going to do it again. Now, this is where I really hate the Corsair. You're on the runway. Don't J out. That is just being really rude of everyone trying to kill you. It's your fault that you land on the runway. Even though I do not like people who strafe the runway, if you're on the runway, just take it. Take it like a boss. Diablo dies. And it's Tesla. So he comes in to strafe the Corsair. And this is where I really hate the Corsair pilot for doing this. More than the Tesla. He J's out again, denying Tesla the kill. And because Tesla's in the AAA, he dies. Right there. And he dies. And the Corsair comes back in the match. I really am on fire right now. I am so on fire because that Doe really did deserve the kill. So I put sneaky in the chat. Not necessarily to tell him that he was sneaky, but I'm alerting him. Oh yeah, F you, Corsair. Yeah, Tesla, you shouldn't be effing him because you also disobeyed the moral of doing that maneuver. But you were in the right of getting that kill. But yeah, and the F4U is kind of harassing Tesla by saying bye, and Tesla actually does message me a little bit later and to say that, you know, he did kind of harass him a little bit more on private chat. And I kind of put the true reality of what Tesla did wrong, and I put in team chat, I'm attacking. Now, I am not going to hold back at all in this Corsair. I am going to light him up with the remaining ammo I have. So obviously I'm going too fast, I cut throttle, and I'm trying to slow myself down just a bit as I dive down low. And he's the last enemy plane on the team. Now, of course, I redlined the plane, but I haven't ripped the wings off yet. Anyways, he knows I'm here, so he does a split S, which is fine. I really thought there was going to be two things. He was going to A, go back to his airfield and camp it, or B, J out. I wasn't going to be set on either one of them, but he goes head on with his Doe. And he is going to be completely focusing on this Doe. And as he's turning too much, I kind of get behind. I don't hit him. My gun velocity is too slow to hit him. I kind of extend away, and he's still focusing on this Doe. Now, he had an opportunity to kill me. 100% opportunity to kill me. But he didn't. And as I put combat flaps, I do a loop. And this is where he ends. I do not resist at all. Nor do I regret how many bullets I put into him. Completely incinerated. Just gone. I am the only remaining survivor in this match. I kept my altitude. I played very smart, very defensively. Got 2 kills in a stock BF-109. I put GG good dogfight because it ended well for me. But I still have really big grudges for that Corsair. And definitely do not like the Corsair pilot. Hopefully he learns not to do that. He should learn how not, or like when to land on the landing strip. And maybe he'll have a better chance of surviving. Alright. Well, I'm gonna be in this squad with someone. I'm gonna say, give me a sec. Give me a sec. I don't know who these people are, but I am going to see what they want. But that's going to be it for today's video. Goodbye, everyone.